Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Dan. So, alright, another spooky movie I'll be talking about today again. But then again, that's not a surprise. I'm usually talking about horror movies anyway. So, there you go. Because as far as I'm concerned, Halloween is a year-round thing. To begin with, yep, here we are. Anyway, so the film I'll be talking about for now is the one titled Tigers Are Not Afraid. Yeah, that's the actual title of this movie. Okay. So, yeah, this actually got a fresh rating. Classified. Are you kidding me? Ugh. So, yeah, this one was actually really well praised, really. Was it really worth all of this, really?
No.
The movie is from this streaming service, and I've spoken about this streaming service before, and it disappointed me here. Alright. Another thing is that I brought this from at the dollar store. So there you go, I guess. Oh, yeah. Mr. Monkey, what are you doing? You keep slacking off. You should do some chores on it. There's so many chores left unattended. You keep okay. You just won't listen. You keep spazzing out over here. What are you doing? Dancing or something? Okay. For those who don't know, this is a Mexican fantasy crime horror movie that attempted to throw in this mythical realism thrown into the mix. And the original title of this film was actually They Return. So there you go, I guess. But whatever. The movie's still lousy though. Well, anyway, as usual, folks, I do have to talk about the plot. So let's get into it, shall we? So, okay. So the main character of this film is this young girl in Mexico City. Let's just say that she's devastated by the Mexican drug war while working on this fairy tale writing assignment. The classroom is almost disrupted by gunfire outside of the school. Let's just say that there's, of course, going to be quite a bit of a panic. The teacher, let's just say, hands her three pieces of chalk. She says will grant three wishes. Okay, so there's that. Following the incident, the class says are indefinitely suspended because of some kind of tragedy. So yeah, there's also this street orphan that does steal a gun and an iPhone from this individual who happens to be the henchman of this crime boss, who is actually is this kind of partisan kind of a character. So they're really going for like a drama kind of a thing thrown in here as well. But all right, sure. Ultimately, what this movie is trying to focus on is this gang of five children that's attempting to survive the horrific violence of the cartel and the ghost created every day by the gang war. So ultimately, this is a story about life not being so easy whatsoever. And of course, it's not going to be easy, really, but that's kind of what they were aiming for when it comes to this story. But sure, okay, whatever. Monkey, what are you doing? I told you to finish up the chores around here. And of course, if you know anything about the Mexican cartels, you would realize that these could be a group of individuals that already a lot. Let's just say a lot of these content that they produce are horrific. When you think about it, and that's an understatement. I cannot stress that enough. That the stuff that the type of things that they would do to their victims is yeah, it's not for the screamers. So are we supposed to go into that kind of territory where we're supposed to be thinking about that kind of thing. If that's the case, it seems like a huge missed opportunity because just uh, just the type of things that a human being would do to another human being. It's just like this really kind of thing they could have actually implemented into this movie. We all know that human beings themselves can be really horrific creatures. So, I mean, you could just make an entire movie on that, really, when you think about it, when it comes to horror. But just unfortunately, horror movies nowadays, they just over rely on already made movies. What I mean, like film franchises, we all know that there's so many movies of like Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, or even Jason Voorhees, just to name a few. So it just comes out like a lot of horror films these days are just built upon what's already been there. Even I could even say the Conjuring movies, like Annabelle and all that. These movies have been around for quite some time, and they just when I say they, the filmmakers, just don't want to take any risks. They just want to stick to what's already there and just build upon that and not take any risk anymore. And that's the thing when it comes to horror movies in this day and age. They're not willing to take any risks, really. Oh, come on, Mr. Monkey. What is your problem? I've already informed you what you have to do, and you still won't do anything. Yeah, you have some severe issues. Christ almighty. Anyway, of course, I keep going back to those really obscure, low budget horror films from the past. Yes, of course, it's due to the fact that these types of movies just comes off as though they're more willing to experiment. Really, this is a pretty common thing when it comes to low budget features from the horror genre, which I've noticed, and they tend to be more creative with the storytelling, regardless of what kind of stories they are. I mean, yes, of course, I want to bring up something that's supernatural as well, like something that features vampires, of course. But yes, I've seen vampire movies from around the world, whether it be Italy, Spain, or what have you. But still, they just seem as though that I guess they're more willing to be creative because the studios won't be on their asses too much because they're not forking over too much money really. So they have more of a reason to, I guess, be exploring different ideas and whatnot. I guess you can say. So there's that. And Mr. Monkey, I told you what you're supposed to do. You still refuse to listen. Okay, spazzing out again. I got some for you. I will admit that this movie does have a rather really well premise, and the set isn't too shabby to explore the horrors of the modern day drug war in Mexico through some kind of magical realism thriller kind of a thing. Yes, I'm up for that. I like the overall idea. It's just the problem is that the execution is lousy. It just comes off as though it's a jumbled and confused mess when it comes to like some kind of metaphors, the overall weak plot, one-dimensional characters. The film does struggle to connect one scene to the next seamlessly, and it just comes off like nothing's really too well connected ultimately. So here we are again, where I've stumbled upon another snooze fest. Really, ultimately, it's boring, really boring. So this film does not live up to its hype, to its reputation that it has gained, of course. So I'm giving this film an overall rating of a 4.8 out of 10. It's a 4.8 out of 10 for me. So of course, as always, thanks for watching and take care. Until next time, see ya. Oh yeah, later. That's it. I'm going to Wendy's. Yep, here we are again. Thanks for watching, folks. I do appreciate it. See ya.